Please don't. We're going to take you on a journey underground right now. They were built in the Second World War. Note to self, get along and have a look at these things. They were turned into a Cold War bunker, but now the Drakelow tunnels near Kidderminster could become a museum to celebrate the area's history.
During the war, they were used as an underground factory for the production of spare parts and components for aircraft engines. They cover almost 300,000 square feet with 3 miles of tunnels. Our reporter Justin Sorrell has been into the tunnels to meet Sid Robinson, a volunteer who hopes to build houses on the site to fund the renovation from an empty space to an interesting and unique attraction.
Mega money. It was dug out in 1941 at the outbreak of World War II, and it was run by the Shadow Factory Longbridge plant, and they made parts for the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine down here. About 700 people worked in the factory, but there was about 2,000 plus who excavated the tunnels to create it. Before World War II and the rover works, were built, the area was known as Little Switzerland, and there was quite a number of little cottages built in the Swiss style by the chap who owned the hall, Mr. Hancock's. The buildings and properties around here go back way back, a long time ago. After the World War II, it was then used for storage with RAF and various other government departments, and then it was turned into a nuclear bunker in the late 60s, 70s, and then in the 80s they revamped it and made it a little bit smaller, and then at the end of the Cold War it was sold off.
And how big is it? How big are the tunnels in total?
About 280,000 square feet.
Quite big then.
Oh yeah, they're huge. They are huge. But there's only a small portion of that which was used as the nuclear bunker. There's various rumours and stories over the years that they go stretched to Kimber, but there's nothing like that. It's about 4 miles of interconnecting tunnels. Well, depending on how often you get lost.
I think it looks fascinating. Their website is really good as well. They take you underground. And the Russians have been there, all the talk of the Cold War.
Have they?
Well, yeah. I was just looking on their website. There's a Russian TV company called Ren TV filmed at the tunnels for a news piece that they put out on the air in Russia. Fascinating. I think Louise was saying earlier on, our newsreader, that it's a bit too claustrophobic for her.
Well, we just wondered if it would be, actually.
Yeah.
But a lot of people saying that we shouldn't really be worried about that. It'll be absolutely fine. I think it was Joan in Worcester saying they aren't as claustrophobic as you think. She herself is very claustrophobic and visited back in the day when you had to make an appointment to actually go down there and have a look. She says that the chambers are quite big, got a large kitchen and even a BBC office.
Oh, wow. Maybe that's where they keep all the payoffs.
They keep all the equipment that works down there.
Don't know. There'll be a lot of money down there if that's the case. We'll explore the tunnels more after 8 this morning. Let's hear from you on the...
Hereford and Worcester.
8:37. Great to have you with us.
I've got a question for you. What would you do with 3 miles of disused tunnels?
How long you got? Oh, about 3 miles.
Well, the Drakelow tunnels in Wolverley near Kidderminster are currently empty, they're disused, but all that could be about to change. Sid Robinson is a volunteer at the tunnels, which date back to World War II. He plans to transform the site into a unique museum celebrating the history of the local area, and he hopes the construction of houses on the site will fund the project. Our reporter Justin Sorrell has been down the tunnels with Sid to find out exactly what could be happening.
Mega money.
And so how long has it been empty?
Well, after the World War II, it was then used for storage with RAF, and then it was turned into a nuclear bunker, and then in the 80s they revamped it and made it a little bit smaller. Then at the end of the Cold War it was sold off.
And you've got big plans for the tunnel, haven't you?
Well, hopefully, yes. We'd like to preserve the main nuclear bunker part and actually have it into a museum and, do school sort of trips around, educational angle would be very good. Something like this needs to be preserved. It's a rare piece of history.
And so if you open a museum in here, would it just be about the tunnels, or would it also be about the local area?
Oh no, we'd include the local area, because above the site was an ancient hill fort. So again, the whole area is steeped in history, and I think it's important to show that off to the public.
What sort of thing you'd include in the museum?
In the museum, we'd like to recreate an era from the 40s, 50s, and obviously then from the nuclear era. So basically, when we set up some of the offices back with the desks and chairs and tables, the dormitories for the ladies and gents, we'll set all those up. Operating theatre, we'll have that going, and we'll also show films of the factory workers, at their lathes, etc., and also the original 1940s kitchens, which are still in place. We want to show footage of those, actually working as well.
What's it going to bring to the local area, though?
Oh, as I said, it'll bring people down. They can visit the Arboretum. I mean, just in Wolverley Village, just down the lane there, they've got a really nice little country pub. Lots of people are going to benefit in the area, so only good can come of it. And also, it'll preserve this great piece of history.
Sid has big plans for the transformation of Drakelow tunnels from empty space to museum. I spoke to people in Wolverley to see what they think of the idea.
I think obviously there is a lot of history attached to the tunnels, which is being lost at the moment because it's eroding and disappearing. A lot of equipment down there that would be interesting to the next generation, but it needs to be repaired. So I think there's a good cause there to have a museum which would interest the generations coming along behind.
How do you feel about the idea of turning the tunnels up the road there into a museum?
Well, I think it'd be a good idea, bring more people into the village, show people the history of the village, really.
I think that would be an excellent idea, yeah. I would be really interested to see something like that.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it would be really good, really interesting.
It would be good to share its local history, and especially with the local businesses like this pub. Good for extra trade coming in is always a bonus.
That's Sid Robinson with our reporter Justin Sorrell about what he hopes to do with the Drakelow tunnels in Wolverley.